Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Javeria and this video is going to be about self-esteem versus self-love. I'm going to talk about what high self-esteem looks like in a person and how it expresses itself as self-love. So self-esteem and self-love are not two different concepts, but rather an extension of each other. Self-love is the practical manifestation of having high self-esteem. Self-love is the action, how you treat yourself because of what you believe about yourself. Self-esteem stems from the beliefs that you hold about your values, about your worth, about your abilities. High self-esteem means that you hold yourself at a higher standard. You believe in yourself, you trust yourself, you have a lot of confidence in yourself, and your inner critique is not as intense and as negative as it is for a person who has low self-esteem. We live in a world where there is a lot of comparison, and it is very easy for us to find faults in ourselves, to find where we're still lacking, to find where we still need to achieve or do more. The external world is always reflecting back to us how good it can get. So in a way, it's always reflecting back to us that where we still lack. Having a cell phone in your hand all the time and scrolling through social media and finding 1,000 different ways in which people are blessed with beauty, with money, with intellects, with emotional intelligence, with physique, with whatever other factors may be which you may compare yourself to them. It is a constant flow of beliefs that, okay, this is where I lack, this is where I lack, this is also where I lack. The comparison through social media is already feeding on your self-worth and self-esteem. High self-esteem is not going to stem from becoming better at something, getting more beautiful, having more money, having a good job, getting more intelligent, or learning more skills. High self-esteem is going to emerge from the beliefs that you hold about yourself. And the core beliefs about yourself are shaped by your life experiences and your environment and how you've been mirrored by your parents. When you're not properly mirrored by your parents in childhood, when you are often compared in your appearances, or if you're compared in terms of grades, if your skills in sports are not as acknowledged and celebrated, you end up believing that you are not capable of doing great things, that what you do isn't impressive, and that you're not worthy of being celebrated. All of these beliefs affect your self-worth, and then your self-worth is your belief about your inherent value. When your belief about your inherent value is manipulated by these external experiences, your self-esteem gets affected because your self-esteem is built on your self-worth. Self-worth is the foundation of how you value yourself. When you don't believe that you're capable and worthy at your core, your evaluation of yourself will also be the manifestation of that belief. It will be exactly how you were mirrored by your parents. So if your parents did not acknowledge your great efforts, they did not acknowledge your great abilities, you will also not acknowledge your great efforts and abilities. When you end up ignoring, not acknowledging, and overlooking your own capabilities, you start to develop deep toxic shame about yourself and about your existence. Your self-esteem gets totally corrupted by these toxic beliefs that are not a proof of your worth. They're not based on your inherent value, but your mind, your subconscious mind, does not know the difference. So your subconscious mind believes that you are not worthy, not capable, not good enough to do something, and that manifests itself in everyday life. You start to undermine your own value. Your subconscious mind and the beliefs that are settled in there are the driving force behind every action you take in your life. They're also the driving force behind every relationship you have. They're also the driving force behind how you let other people treat you, because if you don't have high self-esteem, you let other people walk all over you. It results in you having very little self-esteem, very little belief about yourself, very little self-love for yourself. So when you're in a situation where you could express yourself and be yourself, your low self-esteem does not allow you to be your authentic self. You don't say what you want to say. You don't share your beliefs. You don't express your abilities with confidence. You end up sabotaging a lot of opportunities that you get in life as well, because low self-esteem does not allow you to take risks with self-confidence. High self-esteem will not emerge from outside. It will not emerge from people treating you differently. It will not emerge from people people telling you differently, because the beliefs that were to be formed have already been formed in your childhood, in your subconscious mind. And the very people who mirrored you in a way that made you believe that you were not worthy are not the people who can mirror you in a way that will make you believe suddenly that you're worthy. So you have to mirror. You have to be the mirror for yourself, who will treat you differently so that your beliefs may be reformed, reshaped in your subconscious mind. Neuroplasticity is a science which now tells us that our neural networks can be changed. They're constantly changing, and they can be changed by practices. And you can be the one who can take different actions, mirror yourself differently now to change your subconscious beliefs. What I see often in people who become aware that they have low self-esteem is that they start to perform for other people to validate them, to mirror them, so that they can change the beliefs that they hold about themselves. Performance also settles another belief in your subconscious mind, that is that in order to be worthy, I have to be validated by other people. You go from not having any awareness about that you have low self-esteem to knowing that you let other people walk all over you, but instead of fixing that, you start to perform for other people, start to be better for them, to be validated. So you start to believe that now I will perform and I will be validated by the very people who walked all over me to be valuable. The real shift, the right shift here, is that you go from not being valued by the people because you don't value yourself into valuing yourself, providing yourself with the experiences that make your subconscious believe that your worth, your values are respected, you're enough, you're capable, what you do is celebrated and acknowledged, that you don't have to wait for other people to validate you. And that is where self-love comes. When you start to develop high self-esteem for yourself, when you start to become aware that this is the pattern that you follow, this is where you let yourself be walked over, this is where you let yourself be undermined, this is where you let yourself be disrespected, this is where you don't find yourself worthy and capable. When you start to take actions to break that pattern, you start to tell your subconscious mind that the beliefs that it held until now are no longer needed. Those actions that you do by standing up for yourself, by taking a different choice, by not performing for other people, by choosing what you want to do, choosing who you want to hang out with, by choosing the right people around you who love you genuinely and respect you, by choosing a right relationship where there's mutual respect and care, by choosing the right career, which you're not choosing or going after because you want to impress the society, but you're doing it because you feel aligned with that career. When you take these actions, you are showing your subconscious mind that now you hold yourself to a different standard. All of these actions compound to self-love. Self-love is the action. It's the practical manifestation of high self-esteem. So you making a choice to value yourself, to value your abilities, to value your decisions, and then taking actions towards it is what makes you perform self-love for yourself. You start to treat yourself better. You start to value yourself more. You start to look inward and listen to yourself more. You start to meet your needs more. You start to cater to your own needs first before catering to other people's needs. You start to prioritize yourself in everyday life. And this, all my dear friend, is self-love. Self-love is high self-esteem in action. So high self-esteem and self-love are both intertwined. They are an extension of each other. They both can be achieved by looking inward, changing the pattern that your subconscious mind has inherited or has believed because of your experiences. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. I hope you got to learn something from it. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.